Hello and welcome to the final part of this how to create the perfect autumn portrait video tutorial. In this part we're quite simply going to add a few leaves just to give the impression of that autumn leaf fall look. So what we've done is we've created or we've photographed a series of autumn leaves, and all you need to do is copy and paste those into the picture and apply a couple of blur effects just to get the look. So we're going to open our first leaf, and you'll find that on this month's disc. And all we need to do is to select our wand, very quickly just click on the white background, go Control Shift I or Apple Shift I just to invert the selection, Control or Apple C just to copy it, then click back into our working file. Now if we go Control V, we can just paste that directly in. Making sure that we've got our move tool selected, we can now just very quickly rotate and move that into position. If I just double click, and we've already added our first leaf, so you see it's very easy. Now I want to change the actual hue of the leaf, so if I go Control or Apple U, and that'll bring up the hue saturation dialog window. What I want to do is just make it a little bit more red. So I've taken that down to minus about 16, click OK, and now I'm just going to apply a little blur to that. So click on Filter, Blur and Gaussian Blur. I actually want to blur that leaf almost completely out. So I've taken that right up to 90 pixels, and then I'm just going to drop the opacity just slightly. So taking that down to about 86%. And there we have our first leaf. So that's the sort of foreground leaves, and now I want to add a few falling leaves as well. So if I click back onto one of the other leaves from this month's CD, again just use the magic wand tool to make our selection, invert the selection so we've got the leaf itself selected, Control or Apple C just to copy it, and then go back into our working file. Control V just to paste that in. Again, make sure I've got the move tool selected and I can move that into position. Then I just want to rotate that round, and also just change the scale of it. It looks a little large at the moment, and move that down and into position. I've just double clicked to apply the scale and the rotation change to that leaf. Now to give it more of a falling effect, I'm going to apply some motion blur. So if I go to Filter, Blur and down to Motion Blur, just move that to the side so I can see where it's going. At the moment it's travelling horizontally out of the image. I want that to fall vertically in line with gravity. So I'll just change the angle to minus 90 and then just put it off to one side so we've got a more natural sort of flowing look and effect to it. So I've gone to about minus 70, and the distance I want to just take up so I'm actually blurring out almost all of the detail from the picture. So there I've gone up to a distance of 230 pixels. So look at it before and after, click OK, and you can see that's really put quite a realistic look to that leaf. Okay, I'm now going to repeat that process with a few of the other leaves as well. So again, each time just selecting the outside, inverting the selection, and then going back and pasting that back into our working document. And once I've done that, I'm just applying motion blur to each of those leaves to really build up that falling leaf look. So I've just added a few more here, and you can really see that falling leaf look starting to happen. And now what we want to do is just to finish off the framing of the picture by making another blurred leaf up in the top right hand corner. So all I've done is just to duplicate the original leaf, rotate it round and give it a bit of a hue saturation alteration, and I've also reduced the opacity of that one down to about 80. So there we have our final autumn portrait. And we can see here that we've got something really quite different from the original. The original could have been taken at any time of year, but with those colour enhancements and the falling leaves, we've now got something which looks very autumnal. So there we have how to create the perfect autumn portrait.